in chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, for those of you that are online, type your questions in the chat, and then we'll read them out to Terry at the end. So I'm gonna go and introduce Terry Bunker. He is a retired physical therapist for over 30 years. 45 years. Okay, yeah, I was close.
Yeah.
But he owns Life Changing Fitness here in Tyler. He's a great supporter of Courage Health. He serves on our golf tournament committee. So he's responsible for helping make sure that it's a lot of fun and it's a great success. So he's done a great job of that for us, and so we appreciate that. But he's going to talk about fall prevention, and it's just going to be a very practical kind of presentation today. So yeah, without further ado, here's Terry Bunker.
I'm not going to stand behind the podium if you don't mind. Oh, do you need to?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, if this is okay.
Yeah, sure.
Well, appreciate Trevor asking me to come today. Like you said, I've been a physical therapist a long time, although I did let my license go last year, so I'm fully retired now. Still own a gym in Tyler, Life Changing Fitness over on Copeland Road. But I'm loving my retirement, which I'm assuming everyone in this room is retired. So
I don't know how we had time to work.
well, everybody asked me, well, how do you like retirement? And I said, that's the dumbest question I've ever heard. What's not to like? So I'm married, got 2 kids, got 4 grandkids, loving life right now. Things are good. It was very interesting that Trevor had asked me to do this talk because once he did, and I started kind of thinking about it, fall prevention and falling has been very prevalent in my life recently. Not for me, thank goodness, but I just left a doctor's appointment with my wife. She fell Friday night and broke her clavicle. My 100-year-old aunt who lives in Irving, independent, her mind's not so sharp, but her body was still good, fell and broke her hip recently. Had to have a hip replacement. Fortunately, she's back home. She's walking. She's doing great. It's amazing. Yeah. So anyway, my cousin, she fell and broke her hip, or excuse me, broke her shoulder recently. Had to have a shoulder replacement. So why is this talk important? Okay. First, let me take a quick survey. How many of you in here have fallen in the past year? Okay, so a third maybe or so. Okay, statistically, what do you think the fall incidence is of people over the age of 65 in the United States? Any guesses?
75%, 87%.
Hey, well, that's pretty high. No, so according to the best statistics that I could get, and this is from 2020, they don't have any current stats better than that. 37% of people get injured every year falling in the United States over the age of 65. And then hospitalization from falls, 1 million people a year in the United States have to be hospitalized because of a fall. And these are a couple of year-old statistics, so I think you can assume that it'll be higher. Who do you think falls more, men or women?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
No, it's not. My first instinct was women. It's not. It's men. But there's a funny video. I don't know if you've ever seen that one that says, why do women live longer than men? Because the dumb things that men do, So I don't know if that's the reason men fall more. I don't really know the reason, but statistically they do. Oh,
no, you're good. I was just moving.
Okay. So in 2020, there were 36,500 deaths in the United States due to falls. That's significant, very significant. And that's in people aged 65 and older.
Dying when they fell, or
No, complications after they fall. That's the kick. That's the kicker. It's not just the fall, but it's what happens after the fall. You're not as mobile. There are secondary complications, blood clots, different reasons that things happen. For instance, people over the age of 65 that fall and break a hip, okay? The mortality rate for that is 25% within the first year after they fall. So, and it's not because of the broken hip, it's because of being immobile, other medical complications that happen, heart issues, all those kind of things. So that makes this a pretty important topic because, you know, at some point in our life, everybody's going to have an accident. They're going to fall. I mean, that's why they call them accidents. Nobody plans it. It just happens. But what I want to talk to you about today is preventing some of these falls, really. That's the key, and it is preventable. One of the things that they talk about in looking at all the statistics that, let me think exactly how they worded this just a second. Falls are not just accidents. They're preventable and predictable because, you know, I can tell you in this room, as everybody gets older, depending on your mobility and all that, your risk for falls goes tremendously higher. People that have had a stroke, Parkinson's, whatever medical issues, their incidence for falling goes way up. And then once the fall happens, all the secondary complications. And so that's what I want to give you a few helpful hints today, practical things that people can do to reduce the chances of falling. What causes our falls? Well, you know, accidents. Okay, something happens. You trip over a dog or a cat or a rug or a step. You slip on a wet spot in the floor. Those are accidents. Okay, but what are the other causes of falling? What are some things that y'all know?
Turning around quickly.
Turning around quick, losing your balance. Okay, and what balance losses? Several things. People that have neuropathy in their feet, they don't have the same balance because they can't quite feel where they are. People that have inner ear issues, balance problems with that, very, very common. If you've had a previous TIA or a stroke, causes some issues like that. Here's one, and I'm looking around at this room for just a second. Half the room wears glasses, vision problems. If you don't have good vision, it affects, you know, your comfort level and what you can do, or where you're walking, being able to see those things. So really practical issues like that. Deconditioning. Okay, now I'm going to get on my soapbox. I'm a physical fitness fanatic. I have been my whole life. I mean, if I don't work out every day or do something, I'm not a happy camper. So if you're not doing something every day, and something could be walking, okay, or just light exercise, senior fitness classes, there's lots of ways to do things, but deconditioning, in my humble opinion, is one of the main factors why people increase their fall risk. Their legs get weaker, their balance gets worse, they lose core strength. So let me just tell you, the worst thing in the world for you as we get older, we meaning me, I'm 70 now, is sitting in the recliner. If you love your recliner, you need to break up with it. Okay. A distance relationship with it. Recliners are wonderful. I sit in one occasionally, but you've got to get up and move. Movement is the key. And there's a lot of ways to do that. And I'm going to give you a couple of things today. Take this home and start. You don't have to go to PT. You don't have to go to, you know, We're going to assess a couple of these things today, but really, really important. When you keep moving, or when your body is made to move, it is not meant to be still. And there's lots of ways to do that. So mental status, okay? As people start not being as sharp as they used to be. My 100-year-old aunt, physically, she's cute as a button, 4'6", 90 pounds, could walk around this room, no problem before the fall. But she couldn't remember, you know, 5 minutes from now what's going on. And so she just gets confused, and she got confused and just tripped and fell. But so mentally, if you're not sharp, your risk go way up also. Your environment, you know, where do you live? Where do you spend all your time? Or if you're out going somewhere else, I mean, people fall all the time going into shopping center or grocery store because they're not used to it and trip over something. That's fairly common. But at home, how many throw rugs do you have in your house? How many steps do you have in your house? All those kind of things. All those cause increased risk factors. So we want to reduce those as much as possible. Make your house user-friendly for you. Reduce those risks. Really, really important. And there's a lot of little things. Grab bars to help you with. I mean, there's 1,000 ways to make your house safer if you just start thinking about it. I'm going to throw out this term, common sense. It's not as common anymore, but common sense. Look around your house. Look at your living situation and think, yeah, I love this table sitting here, but is it really right in the way? Or this rug or whatever? Think about your home situation and if you should adjust something, okay? Because it's not worth the risk. We already talked about what happens after you fall. Bad things. Nothing good happens. And so prevent the fall. That's the whole purpose of today's talk. Okay, so what can we do to prevent falls? Okay, first, I'm going to test you. Okay, now you don't have to do this. It's obviously voluntary, but I'm going to go through a couple of physical therapy tests that we do when a patient comes into us and has balance problems or what I'm going to call mobility problems, being able to get around. Okay, so if you will, I know these chairs have wheels on them, high risk factor. What happens when a chair moves? You know, things happen. So move your chair if you want to participate. This is real simple. It's not hard. Move your chair where the back of it is on the table behind you. Just scoot it back. That way we know it's not going to roll any further back. Now, you in the back room, you're going to have to go to the wall if you're going to do that. Okay. So there's a physical therapy test we call the sit to stand test. High tech, sit to stand. All I want you to do is see if you can, and only do this if you feel safe, okay, is sitting in your chair like that. Without using your hands, I want you to just try to stand up and then sit down 5 times. Yeah, okay, just only if you feel safe. There you go. Good. Excellent. Thank you. Thank y'all for doing that, participating. So, yes, ma'am, go ahead. No, ask, please, please. It's okay. I'm in charge. Go ahead.
Placement of your feet to do that. Should there be in a certain spot? I mean.
Excellent, excellent point. Very observant there. So what I was going to comment on is to still address that is all of my observations here. Putting your hands to help you get up here. Some people were able to hear. We're using the arms here. Here's a really interesting thing. What's the difference in how men and women squat? And sitting is like a squat. Okay. What's the difference? How do men and women do it differently? Anybody? Okay. As a physical therapist, we learned this a long time ago. Men will spread their feet apart and hunker down and squat because we're going to lift something heavy typically or something like that. Women are taught to squat with their feet together as ladylike. Okay. And what happens if you're standing with your feet together? You don't have near the balance. Feet should be shoulder width apart. Okay. That's a great point. That's a safety point. And see how easy that is to reduce your fall risk? Spread your feet apart. People that stand with their feet together, all I got to do is push them like that and they're gone. Okay. Spread your feet apart. And actually, if you'll stagger one slightly in front of the other one, so you have a little bit of stagger with your feet while they're apart, that gives you forward backward balance also. Okay. Practical information. Okay. And we're going to get into some of these details here in just a second. Okay. There's another test that we do as physical therapists called TUG, timed up and go. So we have a patient that's sitting, we're not going to do this. Sitting in a chair, they have to get up, walk 20 feet, turn around and come back and sit down. And we time it and see how long it takes them, if they're wobbling and what's going on. So it gives us an objective measurement of balance and ambulation. Okay. And then go ahead now, if you're comfortable, and I want you to stand up again, and you can stand where you can, if the table's right here in front of you, make sure your chair's not gonna roll away. Just go ahead and stand up. Okay? And I want you all to turn this direction. I'm gonna move over here for just a second. So your left hand is on the table, touching it if you need to. All I want you to do is look straight ahead or focus your eyes on something, not on the person in front of you, and see if you can raise one leg up and hold it without holding the table if you don't have to, but it's there for you. Safety first. Always safety first. Okay, and then work it down. And just for curiosity's sake, let's do the other leg. Because people are different. One leg's better than the other. Okay, hip replacements, knee replacements, all those kind of things. Okay, all right, great. Thank you. I'm showing that. Oh, wait, before you sit down, wait a minute, one more thing, before you sit down. Okay. Now, we're gonna take this to a higher level. I want you to touch the table with one finger, okay? Okay, and then I want you to raise one foot up, get your balance. Now, close your eyes.
Oh.
All right, good, go ahead and open them. All right, great, we have a seat. So I wanted to emphasize to you how important that vision is with your balance. If you weren't touching with your finger there and you didn't have that, it's a whole new world. It's a whole new world. I do golf fitness evaluations. I'm with people and trying to help their balance. And of course, with golf, it's really important to have balance. Ideally, we have our professional golfers hold it with their eyes closed for 25 seconds. Yeah, that tells you they are really, really good. Have a question?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. No.
The height of the chair or whatever that you're sitting on. If you're, where we exercise, the bleacher seats, and there's not enough chairs for everybody. There would be if we raided a room, but you don't have time to do that. But, you know, the bleachers, tall people, you're sitting down on that thing, your knees are way up here. You can't do this and stand up, right? It's hard.
It's much harder the lower it is. And here's another little trick, okay? Take this away for today. This is an important thing. Here's how most people get up and sit down. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. And then, oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Is this okay? Okay, I'm going to actually turn it this way. Okay. Most people, and I say most meaning like 98% of the people, when they're going to sit in a chair, they do this. They come back, they bend over, and they sit down at the back of the chair. And then when you get up, you bend over, you push here, and you come up to there. Okay. What's the alternative to that? Okay. The alternative is stagger my feet, head up, squat down, sit on the front half of the chair, scoot back. Getting up, here's the caveat, here's the big deal. If you're getting up from a chair, scoot out to the edge. Now, if it's got wheels on it, that's a whole other story. Make sure it's stable. Otherwise, if you're sitting in the front half of the chair, stagger your feet a little bit forward, backward, hip width apart, head up, push up. One of the things I'm going to teach you today is your legs are critical for your balance and reducing falling. I'm going to show you how to strengthen your legs at home. Really easy stuff if you just do it. Okay? But it's little tricks like that in physical therapy that makes a difference.
Well, this sharp chairs like at church in one of our rooms, it's just, they're so short. I have to hold on to get up.
Well,
they're so low.
Okay. And you should. You should use hand assist. That's why we have grab bars in bathrooms or wherever else you need them. But one of our goals is to get you stronger where you don't have to hold on as more. And that strength is core strength, hips, thighs, legs. And so I'm going to show you a few things that's really easy to do that you can do that. When I get laughed at church, I go to the First Baptist in White House. When we get up and sing, we sit down and stuff. I always do it like this. Instead of grabbing the pew in front of you and pulling yourself up, start doing that. incorporate that into your routine because you get that little bit of exercise everywhere you go. So actually, we have a lot of people at church doing that now. I taught fitness. I taught a senior fitness class at our church, and it went over real well. People started thinking about it and doing it and incorporating things. So, okay. So real solutions to reduce fall risk, things that you can take home today. Look at your house, look at your environment, look at your yard. You know, do you have a real steep driveway? Do you have a real steep yard? You know, things like that are going to increase your risk for fall. I mean, I've heard all these stories, 45 years worth of how people get hurt. So that is critical. Make it as safe as possible. For instance, if you have steps or stairs going in and out of your house, make sure there's a good handrail, either one or two,
Yeah,
or a ramp.
he probably won't for a while.
I think we got somebody. Hi. I think we got mixed up here somewhere.
I don't know if we started.
Okay. Here's another
She's
thing.
sorry.
Knowing how to help someone that doesn't have good balance. Okay. So, you know, I work with a lot of, I hate to use the term elderly, but older people, because I am one, you know.
Vintage,
Vintage. I like to use the word mature.
a classic.
Classic. I like that. That's great. Yeah, mature chronologically.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if you're with someone, spouse, friend, whatever, that's unstable, how should you help them with their balance? Okay, a couple of little tricks, helpful, they're not tricks, helpful hints. If they're wearing a belt, if you walk beside them and hold on to their belt here, you have control. Okay, versus grabbing under the arm's going to do this, you know. We use in physical therapy, we use a gait belt we put on people all the time. Those are great to have. So if you have if you're with someone that has a problem, you should have a gait belt. Okay, walking beside them, being prepared to handle it if they lose their balance, a controlled fall. I had a 6'5", 300-pound patient one time working. I was in the hospital with a full leg cast all the way down, and I'm training him to walk on crutches. You know, I'm looking up to him here, and we're walking down the hall, and good-looking girl walks down the hall, and he goes, "Ooh," and his head's bowed, looking at her. So I had him and just took him to the floor, no problem, you know, because I was ready. Of course, that was my job. But you can do that with people, even if you're not in great shape, you can still help control the fall so it's not just a thud, you know. Once again, broken hips, broken shoulders, head injuries, all the things that occur with that. Just nothing good. So know how to help somebody. Make sure, you know, walking is not, you know, in my house when the grandkids are there, your house when the grandkids are there. Or in my house now, my dog toys. He's a chewer. All right. And helping somebody get up and down from sitting. Lots of falls occur from getting up and off the toilet, getting in and out of a car, because of just that balance loss. Don't ever assume somebody's going to be able to do it okay. Assume that they're not going to be able to do it. So you're there to protect them and help them. So, you know, feet apart. Always use your legs, not your back. Your back is your weak link. Use your legs, use your hips, use your upper body. If you're helping somebody up from a toilet, once again, grab bars are so great to have. If you don't have them, get them. We're all going to need them at some point. So, you know, being prepared for situations like that. Okay. So now, this is really what I think is the most important part of this is what can you do at home? What can you do to make yourself better to reduce your fall risk, which we can measure with the sit to stand test, the tug, you know, some of these tests, 1 foot balance things. we can measure where you are and then where you get to. So that's how physical therapy progresses. So a couple of things that are really, really important. Stay active. Okay. Active means walking. Okay. If you're not on a regular walking program, whether it's on a treadmill, in your house, I mean, this room's got plenty of room to walk. Of course, it'd be pretty boring after a while, but outdoor walking, if you have a safe place that you're comfortable with. Sidewalks can be uneven sometimes, so you have to know your risk factors. If you're safe, if you're pretty confident walking, unlevel walking surfaces such as a yard or a field or something are great places to walk because they make you work a little bit harder. I live in the country, I walk at least 1.5 miles back through my property every day with my dog and don't even think twice about it. So if you practice it all the time, it's going to become second nature and it'll be so much easier for you. But if you're really, really comfortable in that recliner, things don't go well. Okay. So you have to be active. Sitting only makes you worse, no matter where you're sitting. So get up, move around. If you're not in an exercise class, highly, highly encourage you maybe join a seniors fitness class or either join a gym. Doesn't have to be my gym, but if you want to, life-changing fitness, I'd love that. But to get stronger, okay? There's a couple of things that you can do at home that will help you get stronger. I think probably one of the most important exercises is squatting. Okay, and people go, well, I can't squat. That's okay. I'm going to teach you how to squat. Okay, you can, no matter what if you walk in here, you can do these exercises. Okay, so first thing is you have to have a place that's stable, solid to hold on to. You are going to be holding on. Okay, this is pretty stable, so I'm feeling okay with this. This is not stable. Okay, at home, kitchen sink, bathroom sink. One of my favorite places to do, I do squats every day to try and stay strong. I open a door where the end of the door is facing me and hold on to both doorknobs. And so I've got a stable door right here. It cannot pull towards me. Okay. So yeah, it won't come off. So hold on to something stable, feet apart, head up, back straight. Sit back just a little bit. Your knees never need to go out over your toes. Here's a really interesting thing. Anybody ever been to China? Okay. My daughter used to live in China, so I went to China for 2 weeks. Every single person in China can do a complete full squat. You know why?
Because they go to the bathroom.
That's right. They don't have toilets. They have a hole in the floor called a squatty potty. So from birth to 99, they learned to squat like that. And what do Americans do? We bend. We don't squat. And what do Americans have? Back problems. Part of it. Okay.
Did you squat to pick up things?
You should squat every single time.
Instead of bending up?
Yeah. And even if you can only squat a little bit and then bend over, unlock those knees. You're so much more stable that way. If I'm here bending over and my feet are together, my body weight's out here, I'm having to hold all that up. The risk of falling forward is tremendous. Okay? If you're here, your body weight's over your feet, you're so much more stable. Okay? Always squat. So that's why this is, in my opinion, the most important thing you can do to strengthen your legs and be safer. So holding on, head up, back straight, fairly close to where your arms are. So I'm comfortable right here. Sit back. If you squat this far, that's great. You're doing a 25% squat. Start there. Okay. Your knee never goes out past your toes. So people that say, oh yeah, I can squat, and they do this, that's terrible. It's terrible for your back, terrible for your knees, poor technique. So not the way to do it. That's why I want you to hold on. You always hold on. Here, squat however far you can as you get better. You squat on down. and let your hands help you however much you need to. I don't want you to pull yourself up, but have them there to assist you if you need to. Only go as deep as you're comfortable. That makes sense? Remember, head up, back straight, knees don't go over your toes, past your toes. Okay? 3 sets of 10, start with that, whatever you're comfortable with. 3 sets of 2, whatever. But just start. And then how does that translate? Well, people have trouble getting up from a chair. So can you squat? Can you start getting up and down from a chair? Getting up and down from the toilet? Getting in and out of the car? That's where people fall. So the stronger you are, the better you can squat. Okay, so much better for you. So that's one thing. Balancing. Okay, you stand, do your 1 foot balance. Just hold on to something, have something stable you can touch or hold on to, whatever you feel good with. Lift your leg up, maybe somewhere around hip height if you can. Anything's okay. But if you do here, your lower abs start kicking in, your core is kicking in, your glute muscles are kicking in, your balance, everything's going. So have your hand here, hold that. Focus your eyes on something that's not moving. That helps. But if you're watching TV and the screen's moving and you're not going to have the same balance. So you want to get in that, and then your hand is just there to touch as you need to. Whatever you need to do. Stay about 10 seconds, switch to the other leg. My wife, I am so proud of her. I taught her these things a long time ago, and she's in the kitchen at night, watching TV, doing all the cooking. She loves to cook. And I'll see her in there standing at the kitchen watching TV, just standing there doing that. And she's not a fitness nut at all. So, but it makes a difference. Okay? So 1 foot balance, 10-second hold. Yes, ma'am.
With like facing the wall.
You mean just facing like this?
Or you don't put your knee.
You
No,
can.
no. I meant focusing, say if you're doing that, you have the wall, you're like this, wall, and you're doing that, and you have the wall to either catch you or is it better to do it on a?
I don't know. I have something here. I wouldn't want to face the wall and do that myself. If you're holding on to something or you have something stable, you can hold on to a kitchen sink or the cabinets there. Yeah, something that you can grab. Now, not just a cabinet like a table here, not a tabletop, because I can't grab it. There's nothing to grab. So you have to have something for safety. Safety first, always, no matter what you're doing. Okay? So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the 1 foot balance, the squats, 1 foot balance. Yes, ma'am.
Question about squats, because instructors in the past, or I've been physical therapy, whatever, they tell you to stick your butt out before you squat.
Okay.
So is that wrong?
No, but it's easy to get confused. So when they tell you to stick your butt out, what they're doing is wanting you to sit back some, versus some people squat straight over their feet and their knees go way out over their toes. We don't want that. So actually, when I'm in a squat, my butt's way back here.
As long as you keep your back straight.
Yeah, I personally would not want you squatting like this. That's not functional, because all I'm doing is counterbalancing my bottom. Make sense? Mhm.
On the 1 foot balance,
Mhm.
can you put your foot behind you? That's the way I was taught instead of.
Personal preference, I like it up here because it kicks in my lower core. And I think I'm working hard. Yeah, can you do it? Sure. As long as you're doing it, it's good. So that's a great thing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's another one that's important. One of the areas when it may be you, I didn't want you all walk in, but when somebody walks in the room and they're doing this, why do you think they're doing that? Anybody?
Pain.
Could be pain, that's true. But a lot of times it's weakness in the hips. Okay. And when you have weak, what's called hip abductors, the muscles that take your leg out to the side are called abductors. Okay. So if I'm standing here like this, or if you were standing up and you do this, most people do this. Okay. Why do they do that? They're counterbalancing. They're just, okay. Now, why are they counterbalancing? Because this stance leg is too weak to hold them. Okay. If this hip, and so here's your next exercise. Standing where you can hold on to something, stand tall, raise this leg out to the side. Don't lean to the other side. Then you're strengthening your stance leg. Critical. So if you see, if you or someone you know is walking like that, start that exercise. Standing tall, hip out to the side. Doesn't matter how high you lift it, whatever you want to do, but just don't lean, and you will feel your stance hip working harder. So you're working both hips at once versus laying on the ground, just lifting one leg up. That's great. Works at one hip, but this is functional. We live walking, standing. This is where you want to strengthen things. Make sense? So once again,
Like this way, standing up and swinging it, no, back and forth.
Right.
okay,
Is that,
that's okay, but it's not going to work on your balance quite as much. I mean, you're still standing on this leg and it will strengthen it some, but by taking it out to the side, try it when you get home or try it when we get through today. Standing tall and doing it. Here's a functional physical therapy example. Sorry, I'm not putting the camera there. If you'll stand a few inches away from the wall with your elbow here, stand tall and see if you can lift your leg out without leaning into the wall. There's your test. I'm going to bet most of you can't. Okay? Because you really need strong hips. Okay, that makes sense? Okay. All right, another exercise. This one, laying on your bed at home is fine. If you can get on the floor, that's even better because it's more stable. But on your back with your knees bent, raising your bottom up off the bed, we call it a bridge. Anybody familiar with that? Yeah. Bridging. Bridging strengthens your buttocks muscles, your gluteal muscles. And why are these muscles so important? Because we talk about, it's part of your core, all the core muscle groups. But why is that important? Because those muscles keep you from falling forward. They're the ones that pull you up here, keep you straight. Of course, you have a variety of other ones too, but those butt muscles, your gluteals, are really, really important. They're important in the golf swing when I'm teaching clients, because in this position, everything's got to be kicked in. Okay, so buns of steel. That's what you want, no matter how old you are. And just to throw out myths and things, doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what condition you're in. You can get better. If you just work at it one day at a time, get started, baby steps, increase from there. Seek professional help with a trainer or a therapist if you need to. If you have other orthopedic problems or something, work with a professional. But just being active and just starting some of these things will be, it can be life-changing, literally life-changing, keep you from falling.
when you're doing any kind of exercise, all of those that you were doing or whatever, making a conscious effort to hold this in, is that?
Not really. It's secondary. I wouldn't say it's a primary thing. Now, there's 1,000 ways to work your abs. And so I'm not even going to get into that today, but abs are really, really important. So I don't want to downplay that, but that's kind of a whole nother topic. But core strength, core involves not only abs, back, buttocks, hips, it's all of it right there. Okay, but yes, it's always good. In fact, a little simple thing you can do, a pelvic tilt. Y'all know what a pelvic tilt is? Contracting your lower abs, tilting your pelvic back, hold it 5 seconds and relax, just like that. It looks silly. You might not want to do it at the mall or something, but at home it works well. That's a little exercise. And then, of course, there's a lot of ways to strengthen your abs. Okay. And the other is just standing. Practice standing. Instead of sitting, Stand up and watch a show for a little while. And while you're standing up, hold on to something. Do a few of these. Do a few of these. Do some sit to stand at your recliner. If you have your recliner, scoot out to the edge. Do some sit. Here's one of the things that I've tried to teach patients through the years, and it truly works. That if you watch TV, which we all watch TV, I love to watch sports. Every commercial, get up and do something. Now, I'm going to qualify that statement a little bit. I told my brother-in-law, who's, I don't know if I should say this, big, fat, and lazy, that I told him to do that. And he said, yeah, that's working great. I walked to the refrigerator, get me another drink, something to eat, and come right back. But anyway, that's, don't sit there for an hour, because in 1 hour TV show, 20 minutes of it is commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it's 20 minutes. If you exercise 20 minutes in an hour, wouldn't that be great? Yeah, not to mention musculoskeletal, but cardiovascular, get things moving. All right, I'm going to kind of wind things down here. Oh, here's one more thing. If you or someone you are close to is at risk for falling, which that's a pretty broad statement, life alert. If they live by themselves or something, those life alerts or whatever brand, it doesn't matter, are really important. I've got friends from church that I help out, older people that live by themselves. And that's, at least somebody could call for help in that respect. So just, be aware of that. That's one more thing that's available. All right, I'm going to summarize some things, and then if you have some more questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I mentioned earlier, falls are not just accidents. They're predictable and preventable. I mean, statistically, physical therapists, doctors can predict who's at high risk for falling. And it's usually pretty accurate. And if you notice, every time you go to the doctor's office, what's on the medical questionnaire? Have you fallen recently? That's because it is a big ticket item. Medicare spends billions of dollars for fall-related issues. So, and here's something that should strike home to you. In the United States, statistically, and this is from 2020, every 20 minutes, someone dies from a fall-related injury in the United States. Okay, so it's real, it's happening. We can't totally prevent falls. I mean, that's why they call them accidents. Nobody plans for it, but you can definitely reduce the risk of it by your home environment, getting stronger, all the things we've talked about. So make a plan that not if I fall, but make a plan to not fall. Okay. My plan is to get stronger, to make sure my house is safer, have grab bars, reduce stairs, put ramps instead, handrails. So make a plan so you don't fall. It's too late after it's happened. It's hard to recover. Stay active. I can't preach enough on the exercise, movement. You've got to stay active. There's so many benefits from it, and it's free. All you got to do is move. Just do some of these exercises. Practice balancing. Okay? If you'll practice at home, watching TV or in the kitchen, just practice, because what happens is, even when you do lose your balance, which we're all going to do, it's going to happen sometime or other, you lose your balance, you make them catch yourself. Okay? And if you can do that, then you won. That's it. So practice balancing. Don't wait for something to happen. It's so much harder. And then the thing I said earlier about use common sense. Look at your home situation, your personal situation, your physical situation. Hey, am I at high risk to fall? Most of us are. What can I do to make it better? Okay, what can I do to reduce the fall risk? Okay, questions? Yes, ma'am.
So this is kind of like a personal line. I had extensive radiation on lower areas, and so my muscles are, they're just, I feel they're damaged. So I have a hard time with squats. And we just take it, I'm 70 and, we've got a 15-inch toilet, and I'm having issues of trying not just to off down on my lower back.
Mhm.
And then trying to pull myself up, I have like cervical neck issues. Is there a thing where I can strengthen that damage that was done, or what?
Several things. Get an elevated toilet or a seat that goes on your toilet, raise it up so you don't have to go so far down. That's a great thing. In fact, anybody that's building a house that's over 50 years old ought to be thinking, oh, I need a taller toilet put in there. That makes a gigantic difference. Okay. So that's one thing. Grab bars close by makes another thing. And yes, radiation affecting muscles is very real, but it's still muscle. You still just have to work it the best you can. It may not respond the same as a normal muscle because it's been radiated, but still basic strengthening exercises will definitely help. And start trying to do that mini squat. Literally, if you do this, that's a start. Start from there. You'll be amazed. Truly, you'll be amazed how much you can improve on that. And just you get comfortable, go down lower, come back up, do as many reps as you're comfortable with. Okay. Okay. All right. Question?
If you're falling, is there a safer way to fall to catch yourself?
That's a good question. And yes, there is in a perfect world. When you're falling something, it's just, you just are going. If you can fall towards your back, that way you don't fall on your shoulder. If you fall out here, broken wrists, broken shoulders. So if you can fall and then land more on the back of your shoulder here, that's probably your safest way to do it. But we don't all have that opportunity sometimes. When you fall, you're just splat.
Well,
I
I
have-
recently fell missing a chair, just like sat on half of it instead of the whole. So that's the vision part, I guess. Or
Well,
something.
That's a good point. Here's a helpful hint on that. That's once again, those are practical things. Now, chairs with wheels, danger, danger, danger. Okay. At home, wherever you are, if the chair rolls, it's not stable. But if you're going to sit down in a chair, my right leg, my calf is touching the chair.
Yeah.
So I know where the chair is. And then when I go down, I'm going to squat and my hands are going to touch the chair and I'm sitting on the front half. So I know where the chair is. That's a way to do it. And then once again, getting up, use your hands if you need to, use your legs. Here's another little helpful hint. If your head's down, your back is going to bend. If your head is up, your back is going to be straighter. So don't come back here and then go and bend over. Okay? Head up, squat, touch, reach. Okay? That's just a neurological thing. Makes sense? But, there's
No way.
There's not,
Your arms or the.
not really, because, it's kind of, what body part do you want to put at the most risk? Trevor?
Yeah, I've got a couple of online questions here. So the first one, is there an exercise to strengthen the buttocks other than the bridge?
Squatting is going to strengthen that too. So that's the second thing. Yeah. I mean, if you were at a gym, you could do a leg press. If you were on a machine that does leg press, you can do a hip extension machine where you kick your leg back like that. It's going to work your buttocks. If you bend your knee, it works your hamstring some. But bridging is a great bottom strengthening exercise. In fact, if you want to test yourself to know how strong you are, here's another really kind of easy test to do. Lay on your back on the bed or on the floor if you have a yoga mat or something. Knees are bent. Raise your bottom up so you're in a bridge. Go ahead and have your arms on the table or on the bed, and then try and straighten one leg out. So you're doing a single leg bridge. And what's going to happen is you're going to drop down. You're going to be wobbling all over the place if you're not strong. Otherwise, you should be stiff as a board. You should be able to straighten that one leg and just be on bridge on one side. That tests that side, and then just try the other one. So you can do high level bridging exercises like that.
So the other one from online is if someone has knee pain during squatting, should they practice squats only to the point of pain or discomfort?
Yeah, don't work through pain. You may have a knee issue or something, but the way I showed you to squat reduces the chance of knee pain. And it actually strengthens your quadricep muscles in a way that shouldn't irritate your knee as much. Start with very small squats. Make sure your knee does not go out past your toe. Head up. And typically, it won't hurt. Maybe your toes slightly out when you're doing it. Feet are hip width apart. So, you're using your hips strength as much as you can. Okay.
Can I give one piece of advice?
I'm sorry.
Don't unfurl flags like this. I have a friend who did and fell into the window and cut herself up and broke her shoulder.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to comment on something. Watch the curves.
Yeah.
Curves, this is my first fall. And I was unloading groceries from a friend's car and I just hit the curb just right with my foot. Went down on my side, bruised my shoulder, was blessed that I didn't break a hip or a shoulder, just bruised it sore. But I'm so, after that fall, I am like so unconscious. And plus, if you have bifocals.
There you go.
Kind of like,
It's exactly what I was just about to say. Curbs are very, very common, but one of the things is you look down, and bifocals especially, or just looking down and not having that depth perception, making sure you get your foot high enough. Yeah. Here's another, I just thought of another exercise that works really well. If you have a step somewhere in your house with something you can hold on to, just stepping up, pushing yourself up, letting yourself down. Just one step up and down is a great way to strengthen your legs. Okay, Trevor.
Another question, does ankle strength help prevent falls?
Absolutely. Any strength helps prevent falls, but it's what in physical therapy, we call it the kinetic chain. Kinetic means dynamic movement. So foot, once again, if you have neuropathy in your feet and you can't feel your feet, your balance is not going to be as good. If you have an unstable ankle, you're not going to be as good. Knee ligaments, if you don't have ACL in your knee or something, hip weakness. So it's the whole kinetic chain, core strength. Shoulders aren't really a factor in the falls as much, but absolutely. Other questions? So I really hope you take something home from this today that you'll try. Just try it. You don't have to keep doing it, but just try some of these things we talked about and see how it goes. If you really needed to get in touch with me for any reason, Trevor could guide you with that. But appreciate you and hope you have a great day.
Thank you. All right, thanks for everybody. Appreciate it. So this will be posted on our YouTube channel as well. So yeah, thank you.